Hello, I don't know how many of you have come across a thing called the Voice of Reason. This is a little YouTube channel hosted by a man called Alex Belfield, and we had a little run-in a while ago, and he seemed to think that my accent was very funny, which I must say was faintly offensive, and he did then very sweetly ring up to apologise. But you know, one of the problems with doing comedy and belittling somebody else is it's very difficult to take back the damage you've done. And I think of there's this wonderful in fact I think I've probably told this story before. There's this wonderful priest called the Curé d'Ars, Jean Vianney, who was a priest during the French Revolution, and he was very he was famed for his ability to give confession to people, and people came from far and wide to get his counsel. And there's one story about a girl who comes to him and explains that she's been gossiping, and he says, well, no, I don't have time for that now. Go away, and could you, lunch is late, could you go over to the nearby village and collect a chicken for me, and on the way back maybe you could pluck it. And so she collects the chicken, plucks the chicken on the way back, arrives back at the church, says, look, here I've got your ready plucked chicken, and he says, great, and now can you go back and collect all the feathers? And she says, that's impossible. He says, and similarly with gossip, but we could say similarly with comedy, and similarly when you take advantage of somebody to get a cheap laugh, particularly if you're on live radio or live podcasting or whatever, you've got to be very careful about what you're saying and what you're doing. You can't just take it back with a telephone call or an email saying, I'm so sorry, I said something offensive. I tried to ridicule you on air. Well, now there's this Alex Belfield has come up with a story about Jimmy Carr. And Jimmy Carr has done a routine which Belfield screens on his channel. He's really milking this one. And Jimmy Carr says, raise your hands if you've had the vaccine. He says, raise your hand if you've not had the vaccine. If you're opposed to the vaccine, and of course nobody does raise their hand in that theatre. And he says, and now take your hand and slap yourself across the face. That is the voice of reason. And so Alex Belfield is taking this really as a sort of perverted form of advertising for himself, because he calls himself the voice of reason. I think it's far from reasonable. Is Jimmy Carr a lefty lovey? I have no idea. I really don't care. And it seems to me that if the vaccine is available, which it is, and if you've got an opportunity to take it, which I have actually done, that's great. And it's not just for me, it's for the people around me, in the same way that I would wear a mask. But I know people who are quite defiant about this, and I respect their decision. I probably would be cautious about meeting them at the moment. But, that is part of their decision. That is part of their freedom. So I'm all for freedom of choice, but it does come with some responsibilities. And I think that if we all work together, we don't need more laws to tell us what to do, when to wear masks, when not to wear masks, when to be vaccinated, when not to be vaccinated. What we need is more concern for other people. We've got into this habit of thinking that we're doing this for me. We're doing this for others. If that's our mindset, then I can see many ways in which we can justify doing things that maybe we don't want to do. We're doing it for others. It's about our community. But equally, it's about our community to respect people's choice not to do that. But there probably are consequences. I think I think that we have to seriously consider the role of law in our lives at the moment. And I'm very, very concerned about countries which are now penalising people for not taking the vaccine. Greece is doing it. Austria, I think, is Austria doing it? I can't remember. Anyway, Austria is doing it. Greece is doing it. I think this is something that will be rolled out. So we just have to prepare ourselves for that. But we are seeing a world where law is becoming more important than our sense of community, and we need to change that. That it should be the voice of reason. Have fun. Do follow the channel, ring the bell. Have fun. Bye-bye.